Who will be the next manager of Rangers? Probably the biggest question all Rangers fans are asking right now. This decision could make or break the future of the club, so the right candidate needs to be appointed. In today's video, we have some huge news about one of the favourites for the position, Shaun Dyche. We will look into this in today's video, whilst also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Alan Hutton has warned incoming Rangers sporting director Kevin Thelwell that he faces an almighty job at Ibrox and insists patience will be required from fans as the club embarks on another major rebuild. Thelwell, 51, will leave his role at Everton to take up the position at Rangers once his contract expires with the English Premier League club. His arrival follows the findings of the club's football review, which made appointing a sporting director a key priority. Speaking on Premier Sports' Scottish Football Social Club, in the wake of Rangers' disappointing draw with St Mirren, former Ibrox defender Hutton welcomed the appointment but stressed the scale of the challenge Thelwell is walking into. Patrick Stewart, Rangers CEO, spoke about how he wants somebody with experience, and he's got that, Hutton said. Thelwell has worked at a big club in the Premier League. He's been over in America as well. I think because it is such a big job, you need somebody who can handle that situation first and foremost. He obviously believes in him, and he's backing him. While Thelwell's CV includes stints at Everton, Wolves and New York Red Bulls, Hutton emphasised that no amount of pedigree can fully prepare someone for the intensity and pressure of trying to wrestle domestic dominance back from Celtic and overhaul a squad in need of surgery. He's going to go in and find out how big of a job that he's actually going to need to do, Hutton warned. Because when you look at that squad, and if you want to go and compete, look, it's not going to happen in the first transfer window. I don't care if the takeover happens and they get X amount of money, it's going to be long term. Unfortunately, like I said last season, fans are going to have to be patient. Whether they like it or not, you have to be, because it's not going to happen overnight. With Rangers still without a permanent manager and major questions lingering over the impending 49 Enterprises takeover, recruitment, squad balance, and leadership on the pitch, Hutton stressed that Thelwell must hit the ground running. He's taking on a huge job, he added. You need somebody with experience who has dealt with big players along the way that can go in there and handle the situation. The proof will be in the pudding. We'll have to wait and see exactly what happens and what the outcomes are. But it is a huge almighty job that he's got on his hands. And when you think about some of the big games that are going to be coming around real quickly to get the takeover done, a new manager in, a squad that they want, that's a huge job in a short period of time. Now in some huge Shaun Dyche news, Shaun Dyche is one of the favourites to take over as manager of Rangers, despite not being the go-to choice for fans. Shaun Dyche has 3 things that might just make him the perfect next Rangers manager, but not seeing eye to eye with incoming sporting director Kevin Thelwell could kill it in its tracks. That's the view of the team who debated the prospect of a Dyche revolution at Ibrox on last night's Hotline live show. Steven Gerrard and Marco Rose are the firm joint favourites for the permanent gig beyond Barry Ferguson, but after that, it's anyone's game as far as odds makers are concerned. Dyche is in the middle of the field, but there are few realistic contenders with a reputation and track record quite like the Englishman who last worked for Everton under the guidance of Thelwell. Speaking on last night's live show, Craig Swan reckons his work ethic and ethos, as well as his straight-talking style, mean he ticks most of the boxes. But Scott Burns sees a potential stumbling block in that he and Thelwell don't necessarily see things the same way. Craig Swan said, work ethic, ethos, straight talking. That's everything Shaun Dyche is all about from what we've been told from his time at Burnley and Everton. He was tagged with a certain style of football that wasn't easy on the eye for people, but then there was always the counter-argument he was having to deal with the situations he was in, the players he had, and the teams he had. They were generally fighting against things, and that's the kind of football he had to play in those situations. Would he be a better manager and play a different style of football if he was coaching a team that was near the top of a league? He's always come across as a straight-up fella. Scott Burns argued, I've had dealings with him, but one spanner in that works is I don't think he's that close to Kevin Thelwell. Speaking to people who have worked with them both, I don't think they always see eye to eye in terms of players. Some of the foreign players who came in and weren't playing so much are playing more now under David Moyes. They didn't really get a chance under Dyche. So I'm not convinced that would be a runner. I could be totally wrong, it's just the information I was told, that the end of his time at Everton wasn't great and that the relationship, were they both pulling in the same direction? I don't know. In other news, Chris Boyd insists the rivalry between Rangers and Celtic has reached boiling point off the pitch, and dismissed the idea of a guard of honour when the champions arrive at Ibrox this Sunday. Brendan Rodgers' Celtic side will head to Ibrox as newly crowned Scottish Premiership winners, having wrapped up a fourth successive title in dominant fashion. But while some leagues uphold a tradition of applauding opponents onto the pitch, Boyd says there's zero chance of Rangers honouring their bitter rivals. The former Ibrox striker and Sky Sports pundit delivered a typically blunt assessment ahead of the season's final Old Firm clash, claiming relations between the two clubs are at an all-time low, particularly at boardroom level. There won't be any guard of honour, Boyd laughed. I think Scotland's a pretty unique place. For both teams, the respect went out the window a few years ago. Celtic can't even refer to it as the Old Firm. And in terms of the respect that used to be in the boardrooms, I don't think it's there anymore, so I can't imagine Rangers players clapping Celtic players onto the pitch on Sunday. Rodgers' men equalled Rangers' record of 55 top-flight titles last week, but Boyd believes any form of courtesy between the clubs is now a thing of the past. There should still be respect there from both clubs, he said. But there are so many problems in the past now that there is absolutely no chance of a guard of honour on Sunday. Despite the simmering animosity, Boyd expects a high-stakes encounter on the pitch, with both sides motivated for very different reasons. I'm looking forward to the game. It's a great spectacle for Scottish football, and there will be some Celtic fans back in the ground, he said. We saw what happened the last time at Celtic Park with the fans. It's great to see. I don't think it will ever get back to what it was, but hopefully for Scottish football, Celtic will want to come to Ibrox and show why they are champions and put on a performance. Boyd also believes the pressure is on Rangers, with several players potentially playing for their futures as the club gears up for a significant summer overhaul. Barry Ferguson has already spoken about it. They were very disappointed at the weekend, he added. There's a lot of players fighting for their futures. If they want to be part of something going forward, then they are going to have to perform between now and the end of the season. Maybe a lot of players already know that they are surplus to requirements, but it's still an Old Firm game. You want to put on a performance, and I'm looking forward to it. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.